So, it's almost the end of the semester, and it's that time when there are a bunch of projects that are going to be due soon. But you don't want to hand in the same old thing time after time after time. You want to do something new, maybe something a little bit more creative. Well, today we're going to find out how Google Slides can help you to do just that. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ms. Rochford, and I am a grade 7 and 8 online teacher, and I teach at an online school in Alberta, Canada. I like to create videos that help students, teachers, homeschool families with everything that is school related. A lot of times I'll have tutorials, sometimes I'll have tech tips. Every once in a while I'll do a vlog as well. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below. A lot of the time, when we think about Google Slides, we think about making a presentation, a slide presentation, where we maybe show it on a screen to other people and talk and share while those images are going on or those lists of items are up on the screen. We talk about it and share information that way. And that is a wonderful way to use Google Slides. But you know what? There is so much versatility to that program. Now, not too long ago, I actually did a webinar all about the many different uses of Google Slides and how powerful the program is. And I shared a number of different creative ways that we can use it. Like, for example, using it to create choose your own adventure stories or online interactive games or even interactive posters. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, if you're interested in some of those other items, I'm going to provide a link to the registration page for that webinar, which I'm providing for everybody as an on-demand webinar. So if you're interested in more detailed information about Google Slides, check in the description below for the link to the registration page. Now, moving on today, though, we are going to talk about those interactive posters. You know, one of the things that is really, really powerful about Google Slides is that we are not stuck with that 16 by 9 size for a slide. We can actually change the size. Now, if you're not quite sure how to do that, let's jump into the computer and take a look at exactly how we do that, because we can use it to change the size of the slide so it's actually a poster size. Let's jump in and take a look. I think one thing that gets quite often overlooked with Google Slides is that you can actually change the dimensions of the document that you're working on. I think most often we end up logging into a Google Slide file and it's, oh, okay, it's the widescreen file. That's what a presentation is supposed to look like. And so we just get going. But one of the things that really adds to the versatility of Google Slides is that you can change those dimensions. So for example, if I wanted to use it as a page design program rather than a presentation tool, I can totally do that. Now, in order to change the dimensions of the file that you're working on, all that you need to do is go to File, and then choose Page Setup. Now, it will automatically be set to the widescreen 16 by 9 file size, but if you click on where it says widescreen there, you will get a drop-down menu of a number of different sizes that you can choose from. And the one that makes it the most versatile here is the Custom option. When you click on Custom, it gives you the option to change the dimensions of the file. And you can even choose the measurement that it's shown in. So inches is the most common one, but you do have the option for centimeters, points, as well as pixels. So for our example here today, I'm going to change things up to an 8.5 by an 11 inches size, and we'll take a look and see what that looks like. All right, so now that we know how to change the size of a slide in Google Slides, we can take a look at exactly how we can now make it interactive. So how can we go about designing a poster and creating interactive elements on that poster? So it's not just something that, sits there and looks pretty. It looks pretty, but people can actually interact with it to find out more about the information you have researched or found out about a particular topic. All right, so let's get back into the computer, and we're going to take a look at all the steps necessary to create an interactive poster. Now, interactive posters are really, really neat because it parts from that whole static poster and makes it one where you're still designing and using those types of talents, but the person who's going to be interacting with the poster has a lot more interaction involved rather than just looking at it. So let me start by sharing with you what our final product is going to look like. So here we have our poster all about dinosaurs, and you'll notice that down at the bottom there are instructions that tell us to click on an image to find out more. And if we go ahead and click on one of the dinosaurs, we notice that we're taken to a page that has some interesting facts, a video, as well as a picture of the dinosaur that we're looking at, and some navigation tabs. We can go back home, take a look at another dinosaur, and more information about that. And notice there's also a button to direct us towards a quiz. And here we see that we have a cool dinosaur quiz that we can take based on what we've learned about in the information that we've investigated through going through the interactive poster. This school year, I presented the idea to my Science 7 class as we were going through and studying animals and their habitats. And the creativity that these students had when it came to the final product and what they were able to come up with was amazing. If you set students loose with a tool like this and an idea like this, they have great imaginations and they can go great places with it. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is start off with a brand new Google Slide file. Once we have our new file, we are going to name it. So we're going to name our file today Interactive Poster. Once we have that done, we're going to start designing the actual poster part of things. So we're going to come up with the creative ideas here before we put together the links and the information portions of the slides. So we are going to change our background. And we're going to upload an image as the background. So we're going to choose an image, and then we're going to upload a file, an image file from our desktop on the computer. Hopefully your files are better organized than mine, and you can find it quicker than I am right now. All right, and once we locate that file, we get it all loaded up. Now we have that as our background, and we can click Done and move along with bringing in some of the other design elements. All right, now let's tackle our title. So we're going to type in our title, Dinosaurs. And that color font is a little difficult to see, so why don't we change that to white and maybe increase the font size just a little bit here to make it a little bit more visible. And then I'm going to adjust the text box size there and move it up towards the top because we don't want the whole picture being covered by our title. Now, let's take a look at, we have a section here for the subtitle, and so we can use that for the instruction portion of it. And so we will type in here, letting them know that they can click on an image to find out more. We also want to make that a lighter color so it's more visible. And there we go. All right, so now it's time to start inserting some of those images of the individual dinosaurs. Now, I've already done some searching for images, and I've chosen some that have a transparent background so that it'll make it really nice on the picture, where it looks like those dinosaurs are actually just part of the picture. So there we've inserted one, but it's a little bit too big for our environment there, so we can resize it and maybe reposition it a little bit to have it fit in here well. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at some of the other ones that we've got here. So we'll take a look at our second dinosaur file, get that loaded up here. Once again, another one with a transparent background, and we'll move him around into the environment, see where he fits well. I think that looks good. Okay. Maybe we'll move him over just a little bit more. There we go. And then we have one more that we're going to insert here. So let's find that dinosaur file. Once again, another image with a transparent background so that we don't have any block looking type of images that sort of look out of place. And so we'll locate that in our files. There he is. We'll bring him in. Whoa, he's pretty big there. So we definitely need to resize him. There we go. Let's make him a little bit smaller. Maybe move him into more of the center of the image there. Perfect. That looks great. So now, before we can make our poster interactive and include those hyperlinks, we need to create a few more slides. So let's go ahead and create some slides here. So we'll get one going here. And as the title, we'll put in Dinosaur 1. And then we'll put a little bit of information, placeholder information here. So we'll have interesting fact number 1, interesting fact number 2, and interesting fact number 3. So that's our placeholder information that we will use. So now we can come back to our poster and we can use that, we can do a copy and paste so that we're using the same image of the dinosaur. We'll place him in there so that we have that same dinosaur. We know which one we're talking about. Let's make it a little bit bigger so that we can sort of not have a totally empty page there. So there we go. Very good. And now I think we're also going to add an additional piece of information on this page. We're going to add a YouTube video. So we'll open up a new tab and bring up YouTube, and let's search for dinosaur video. See if we can find anything interesting here. So we scroll through and find, oh, here's the one that I'm looking for. All right. So there we have the video that we're looking for. We'll go to the share options and copy the link. And then we go back to our Google slide presentation, go to Insert, choose Video, and then we're going to do it by URL, and that's where we will paste the address. There's the video, insert it, and then it will pop up onto our screen. We'll just reposition it and resize it so that it fits well into our slide there. All right, so now we're going to go back to our main poster page and we're going to link the image of the dinosaur with the page that we've just created. So we go to Insert, Link, and now we're going to choose the slide from the presentation that corresponds with this dinosaur. So we find it there in our list, and then we hit Apply. So now in presentation mode, if someone were to click on that dinosaur, they would be brought to his information page with the important information, the interesting points, the YouTube video, as well as his picture. There we have it. We can do a quick test of the video just to make sure that it works. And it seems to. Fantastic. And now we would repeat this exact same process over and over again for all the different elements that we have on our main poster page that we want to make clickable or that we want to have a hyperlink to, whether it be to various slides in our presentation, or in the case of like the quiz that I had up there at the very beginning where we saw that. You can link to an outside website as well. And it's the whole same process as what we just completed here for this dinosaur. All right, so one final thing that we're going to do is we are going to search for some icons that we can use as navigation items on the individual slides for those dinosaurs. So let's do a search, and we are going to search for, let's see, a home icon. And so let's see what we can come up with. We'll take a look here, see what we can find, see what looks good. This one looks like it'll probably work. Okay, let's select that one and insert it. It's a little large, so we need to resize it. We want that much smaller. Okay, and then let's do just a little bit more. And then we're going to bring it up to the corner here. So it's one of our navigation items up there. There we go. Good. That's looking good. All right, so now we need to insert a link. And we are going to link it to the poster page and apply. There we go. So that when we are in present mode and that gets clicked, we go back to the main poster page. And there we have it in a nutshell. A great strategy for engaging students in their projects, a slightly different perspective on the traditional poster. Well, that wasn't too difficult, now was it? No, not at all. It's actually pretty straightforward how we can create those interactive posters. And so not all that much more effort has to go into creating something that is much more creative, much more interactive, and can really maintain somebody's interest much more than just a static poster. Now, during my webinar that I hosted, there was a question that came up, and I'm going to share that with you guys today because it was actually a really, really good question. And it had to do with what if you didn't want to include separate elements? What if you wanted to draw your poster, but then still create an interactive poster from that? Okay, so let's take a look at the question and the solution that I provided to that. This next question is a fantastic one. I'm actually glad that it got asked. It's, what if I wanted to use a picture for an interactive poster that already had all the elements on it? How could I still include hyperlinks? Now, this year when I did the interactive poster with my grade 7 kids, I actually have a group of kids that are very, very artistic, and they utilize their Google tools, especially like Google Drawing, really, really well. And so most of them wanted to draw their own posters. And so what we did was we had them draw their poster, and they brought it into Google Slides. And then what we did was we used the line tool to draw shapes around the elements that they wanted to be hyperlinked. So I'm going to switch over to my screen here again, and I'm just going to bring up a quick example. It's our Choose Your Own Adventure book cover. So we're going to make that man in the center there a clickable hyperlink. Okay, and so if we go to our line tool, we can choose any one of those items there. I'm going to choose the polyline. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the image of the man, and we're going to use that tool to click around him and to sort of get that shape going so that we outline him there, and we get our own shape. Okay, so now that we have that shape, what we want to do is we want to make sure that there is no line color and no fill color. So what we do is we go to the line color tool up on the toolbar, and we make sure that it is transparent. That is the setting that it is, as well as the color fill tool. We make sure that that is set to transparent as well. So we don't see anything on top of the picture, but there is still that shape there that we created. So now what we can do is we can activate that shape so that we can see the outline there. And then we go to Insert, Link, and we provide the link that we want to, as we have in the past when providing or activating hyperlinks. Okay, and so if you have a picture that already has all the elements and you don't want to bring in individual elements, that is the option for how you can still provide hyperlinks. All right, now let's get designing. I would love to see what you guys come up with. So if you create an interactive poster based on some of the things that you've learned here today, I would love to see it. Feel free to tag me in social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll provide my information in the description below. Also, once again, if you are interested in learning more about the webinar that I hosted that contains much more information on other creative ways that you can use Google Slides, there is the registration information in the description below. That's all for now today, guys. I will see you again soon.